Gong Xi Fa Cai. How close have I got to messing that up? I have absolutely no idea. I know I'm in Japan, I know we're really close to China, but I have absolutely no idea how to speak Chinese and whether or not I'm hitting that right. But it's a beautiful shoe, this great, I'm way out of touch, out of sync, and it's a great shoe, but usually I wouldn't talk about shoes this close to the drop date, pretty much the same day. But I've got so many questions about it. I need so much help from you guys, the viewers out there, to tell me more about this shoe. Like this right here, is this the only other Chinese New Year from the Lebron line? And if so, is it even a legitimate Lebron shoe? It's an ambassador, so it kind of comes outside of the line, if you like. So is this the very first Lebron shoe as well? You know, I'm going to mispronounce the name of the shoe too. It means good Chinese Happy New Year, prosperous New Year, something like that in Chinese. And also, very fundamentally to this video, to this shoe, is there something unique about the swooshes, absolutely unique about the swooshes on these 18s that you don't see on any other 18s at all? So with all that being said, let's get into this and have a close-up look at the Nike Lebron 18 Chinese New Year. This is the Tokyo Bada 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo Bada 23 Sneaker Channel des. Mainichi Yapsuno de Mainichi Mirikuru Sign. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today what we're looking at is a very close drop to this video. Usually I'm 10 days before a drop talking about an upcoming release and giving you guys insight into what's coming down the line. But this one is absolutely way too close to the drop date. It's happening already. But it's one of those shoes that sometimes I'm out here in Tokyo, Japan, and I just don't really have my finger on the pulse of worldwide sneaker releases as much as I'd love to. Basically, I'd love to be in the States and right on the forefront of sneaker releases. But this shoe, they're talking about it releasing only in China, which I think is kind of unusual. I know it's got a whole heap of design elements from China. I think it's something like Unit 400 or something like that is the name of the group that have tied it up with Nike to add design elements to this shoe, which we'll get into today. But you know, I just, there are too many questions about it. So you, the viewer out there, I need some help. I need you to hit me up with comments down below. Tell me, where is this shoe releasing? How widely is it releasing? Is it the kind of general release that's, you know, I'm just not picking up on? Or is it a very limited release but worldwide? Or is it a very, very limited release just in China? So I really want to know all of those things. I'd love it if you guys could tell me in the comments down below. But what I will do for you today is go through this shoe little by little and have a look at all the little details on there, because there's quite a lot going on, and a lot of it is very subtle and very sort of hints to the shoe. But also I would love to know if I've got that right, that Gong Xi Fa Cai. I doubt if I'm pronouncing it right. It means prosperous New Year or Happy New Year or something along those lines, and it is the Chinese New Year. And speaking of that, when it comes to sneakers, there's usually a whole heap of red going on in sneakers, which we've definitely got going here with Chinese New Year's, whether it's Nike or Adidas or any of the other brands. They tend to heavily favor the red. But this light blue is new to me. I haven't seen many, if any, Chinese New Year sneakers with this much light blue on them. A bit of dark blue maybe, but light blue, that's kind of unique to this shoe. So let's get into that and have a look at all those things. Now we'll answer question number 3. We've already answered the other 2. So the main question is, well, actually, we haven't really talked about that ambassador, the Lebron 8 ambassador Chinese New Year. I said that to me, this is the only other Chinese New Year Lebron that's out there, is this Lebron 8 ambassador, because I just haven't seen any others. And again, I might be wrong in that. I'd love to know in the comments down below if there's other. Are there other Lebron, Nike Lebron shoes that go under that Chinese New Year umbrella? So, and then the other question was about the swooshes. So what we're going to do is go over to the medial side, and what I'm going to show you is the swoosh that always appears on the medial side towards the heel, and it's embedded in that light blue heel that we were talking about already, that light blue color there. And what's unique about it is it's red, which matches the upper. Now I've looked at quite a lot of Lebron 18s, including the lows as well as the highs, and the lows don't have the beautiful upper that these guys have. That Fly Posit 2.0, I think, is the name of the upper on these guys, and the lows don't have that. So it's great to see us back with a high and its regular upper in there. But what's unique about the swoosh is that it matches the color of the upper. Red swoosh, red upper. Usually that doesn't happen. Usually what happens, if we go to the toe box on these guys, you'll see there's a gold swoosh there, which comes in later when we talk about that branding and that design element. But you've got that gold swoosh up there on the toe, and usually what you'd see is if it's gold on the toe, you'd see on the medial side towards the heel, it's gold with the swoosh there as well. That's often, if not always, the LeBron 18 sort of style, and it's very unusual. I haven't seen it much at all, if at all. I might never have seen it, to be honest, that you see that medial side swoosh match the colours of the upper rather than the colours of the toe box swoosh. So very unique, if you ask me. Love to know in the comments down below if you can think of another LeBron 18 where the medial side swoosh matches the colour of the upper rather than the toe box swoosh. So now with that being said, we might as well go to that main feature that we were talking about. I want to go to the lateral side now and have a look inside that heel. So you've got that beautiful sort of blue, light blue. It's not quite jade blue, which would have made more sense because of Chinese, the affinity with the colour of jade. But you see the blue on the heel there, which is a very solid kind of construct compared to that front material on the upper. And you can see tucked in behind it some hits of gold. And now what I understand is that says prosperous new year, or Fang Xi Chai. I've lost it already. Fang Xi Chai, no, it's gone. I told you I'd mess it up. But that's the Chinese writing on there in gold that matches that toe box swoosh in design there, which says prosperous new year. And it reminds me of the Los Angeles by Night. So remember the Los Angeles by Night had sort of detailing tucked within the heel instead of on top of the heel, just like you see here with that gold lettering in there, which is very, very nice. And then not too far to go away from that to get to that red upper that we talked about, but it's not actually a red upper. So let's zoom in on that and have a close-up look. Hopefully the green screen's working out for me today, and you can see, which happens a lot on LeBron 18's highs, that if you zoom in on them, that single color upper that you think you have has a lot more going on. And I'm guessing these are blue specks, even though they're very, very dark. I don't think they're black. I think they're blue specks in the upper here. And then it's not too far from that to go across to the lacing system, where you see all three main colors of this shoe featuring in those light blue laces, and then the white 3 air units up the tongue, which you don't see on 18 lows, and then all of that housed in a red tongue unit. So you've got all three colors going on the tongues there. Now a couple of really unique features to look at, which are kind of lost on the shoe if you don't really look closely at them. Unique feature number one, I think, is probably easiest to start with that light blue heel and zoom in on it, and you can see, I've seen this with another shoe, I can't remember which 18 it was, but that kind of watery effect, that is not wet for the camera or for design or for artistic photography's sake. That's actually built into the design of the shoe to give you that wet effect on the light blue materials, hard materials of the heel there, and that's repeated on the midsole. If we come down to the midsole, hopefully that white midsole, you can see the specks again on there. So the deeper, darker specks that are apparent in the upper are a bit more lighter and less sort of hidden, if you like, within the white midsole there. And then it's not too far to go away from that to one of the biggest hits of shoes of these shoes is that gold midsole unit on there, which is really, really fire, really fly. A very hot popping gold midsole element around about the midfoot of these shoes within that midsole of white with the blue speckle going on in there. So and then flip them upside down and have a look at the outsole, because it's a very simple outsole. There's not much going on. Actually, to be honest, I'm waiting for LeBron to go back to a bit more complicated with the outsoles, because these outsoles have the potential, they have done in the past, to have an awful lot of very random colours going on there. I've called them a Jackson Pollock before, an artist called Jackson Pollock that makes paintings like these, and you can sometimes see outsoles like that. But in the case of these guys, it's a very, very simple outsole with just a few hits of red along the holes throughout the middle of that. So and then coming back out to look at the full shoe, I think I've covered all the main details on it. It's a nice, beautiful looking shoe, but like I said about the drop date, this video is going to go up on, I think it's Sunday the 7th, is it the 7th of February? And I think that's the drop date in most places, or maybe even Saturday the 6th. So these guys are already out there, and I don't usually do videos about shoes that are already out there. Usually it's upcoming releases a week, 10 days, 2 weeks in the future. But these guys, too many questions, too many unknowns, and I need to know from you guys, the viewers out there, what's going on with this shoe, because I just don't know, and it'd be great if you could share that with us. at the channel. So there you go. That's a look at the shoe. Interesting swooshes going on with that medial swoosh and the toe swoosh on there. The name Chinese New Year, and I can't pronounce it already. The short-term memory's gone. And where the drop is on these guys. When the drop is, whether it's general release, limited release worldwide, or limited release in China only. Love to know those things. So with all that being said, it's time for me to sign off. I'm barely keeping on top of things at the channel, but we're still doing those daily drops. Fingers crossed I can keep you daily content coming. So fingers crossed that'll be the case for days, weeks, months to come. So for that being said, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out the content, and I'll do what I do at the end of every single video, which is remind you I do this every single day, and that means you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.